Hi, I'm T, and welcome to Crafted with Purpose, T's DIY shop, where I bring creativity to life with fun and easy DIY projects on a budget. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so that you never miss one of my crafting ideas. I'm going to show you how I created a Valentine's tiered tray decor using items from Dollar Tree and Hobby Lobby. So I got this mini bamboo charcuterie board from Hobby Lobby during their fall season, and I got it at a really low price. These are so cute. There's so many things that you can do with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint just half of the charcuterie board with pink chalk paint that I'm going to mix with the white and the red. But first, I'm going to take my painter's tape and put that where I kind of want to block off the area of the charcuterie board where I just want to color and leave the top half without any of the paint. And I'm doing this by measuring also the stencil that I'm going to use to make sure that I have enough space for the stencil decoration. And there I go. So I'm just going to keep that on there, making sure it's securely taped so that no paint gets underneath. And now I'm mixing the Waverly chalk paints of Adirondack White and the Crimson Red just to get to the right pink color that I want. I wanted it to be a little bit of a standout pink, not so much a blush pink. As I'm painting, I'm making sure that I get good coverage over the bamboo charcuterie board. What's good about this board is that it really takes the paint really well. You don't have to put many coats for this. It coats really well. And you want to make sure that you're painting the sides to match the front part. I don't do the back because the front part is basically what's going to stand out. And then I did end up adding just a little bit more color because I wanted it just a little bit lighter. And so I'm just finishing that up. And the way that I'm gonna dry this so that I can move on with this project is I'm going to use my blower. If you've seen other people, they use different type of heaters, but right now I'm using my blower and it works just fine. And look at that, look how clean that comes out, how perfect. So now I'm going to use the stencil that I got from Walmart. These are actually cookie stencils for Valentine's Day, but I couldn't pass up this. It was just so cute. I was like, you know what? I could use this for my crafting. And so when you're doing any stenciling, you want to make sure that you secure the stencil with some painter's tape so that it doesn't shift. I am going to use the dabbing technique with my sponge brush. I'm going to show you a technique with that because there is a way that you have to do this so that you don't get any bleeding underneath the stencil, which would truly disappoint you when you peel it off. So there I am, just making sure that it stays in the middle, and I'm going to do the top and bottom as well. Now that that's secure, now I'm going to use this darker red. I forgot the color of that paint, but it is acrylic paint. And I wanted to use a darker red just because the pink that I painted on my charcuterie board is a little bit darker. And I wanted to make sure that this red stood out. So you see there, I have a sponge brush. And you're going to use this technique of dabbing out the paint because again, if you have too much paint on your sponge, it tends to bleed underneath the stencil, which causes a huge mess, and you're gonna get disappointed once you pull off that stencil. So you're just gonna wanna dab it through, making sure that you're not rubbing or brushing across because then that'll cause bleeding. And just making sure you're putting as little as possible of the paint onto there and just dabbing it over and over again until you see the image from the stencil. And once you have the full coverage, now it's time to unveil the results. And you want to take your time doing this so that you don't smear any of the paint. And just lift it from one side. And look at that, how cute. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to touch this up with my paint marker by dabbing it with the paint that I used for the stencil, and just touch up some gaps and fill in some of the color just to make it perfect. Sometimes when you're stenciling and you think you have the full stencil on whatever object you're putting it on, sometimes there are gaps, but if you look at that, it came out perfect. And so now I'm going to embellish. I'm going to use a ribbon that I got from Dollar Tree. And what I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to place this as a border that separates the painted part and the non-painted part. And I'm only going to do the front and make sure that just overlaps on the sides of the charcuterie board, but not on the back. And what I'm going to use to keep that on there is I'm going to use, not hot glue because I don't want any bumps, I'm actually going to use some Mod Podge. Mod Podge will give it a better seal without any bumps, and it's longer lasting. Okay, and once I apply the ribbon, I just make sure that I center it properly and make it straight, and just make sure that it's stuck on all the way. And once it dries, it hardens and it won't come off. And then I start cutting the extra pieces of the ribbon that stick out on the sides, and just kind of make sure that I fold it over so that the Mod Podge holds it down. And there it is. Look how cute that is. So now it's time for the embellishment part with the hearts. And I'm just going to overlap two of the large hearts, a white one and a red one that I got from Dollar Tree. They come in a pack. And I hot glued them together, and look how cute that came out. And the final touch I'm gonna use are these pink, white, and red beads that I also got from Dollar Tree. And I'm also going to just use the original string that came with the charcuterie board, and I'm going to add a pink, white, and red bead to just embellish that. And firstly, I'm tying a double knot so that it does not come out. And once I add the beads, then I will add a double knot at the bottom so that those beads do not come out. And there it is. Look how cute this came out, guys. Everything was done on a budget using Dollar Tree and Hobby Lobby items. I love how this looks on my coffee tray. It looks so cute. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you like and subscribe for more DIYs on a budget.